Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gridiron Network podcast. Today, we got a mini episode, guys. We're going to brace this by saying it's not going to be as long as normal. We're going to recap the national championship divisional round weekend. We're going to look towards the conference title games. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a smaller episode. But Harry, how are we feeling today?
Man, hey, personally, I've been fantastic. The more important question, how are you doing?
I've I've been okay. I've been okay.
Yeah.
It's and he's asking because if you're new here, Bears fan. Um, I've been okay. Honestly, it was heartbreaking, man, for
Yeah.
for all the wrong reasons. Because going into that game, I think I said it last week. Like, if we lose, we lose. I'm not devastated, right? But we had that game won, and
Yeah.
I've seen a
Yeah.
lot of discourse on the interception from Caleb, and I have two takes on it. Right, number one, I would say it's about 80%, 75% DJ Moore's fault, 25% Caleb. Now, obviously, DJ Moore half-assed his route, right? He jogged not just the end there when he was crossing over, but he jogged the whole route. Like, that was crazy. Like, it was a practice walkthrough. But as Caleb Williams, you need to understand, which is only a second-year player. I get it. You are in a divisional round overtime game. It's 1st and 10. All you need is a field goal to win the game. You don't need to take that chance. I don't care how open he is. You know what I mean? I know you want to go for the win. And for that, I don't blame you because he's aggressive. It's what he's been. I'm not going to fault him for that. But you don't have to throw that there. But at the same time, DJ's got to make a better effort. So that's where it sucks because that's what really hurts is that we were so close to winning it. At this point, where this is, what is this, Wednesday when we're recording this, I'm over it. Like, it's in the rearview mirror, onto the off season. I'm just glad we beat Green Bay in the wild card round. Um, but yeah, I'll root for Matthew Stafford to get it. I love Matthew Stafford, man. He had a bad game. Our defense played really
Yeah.
good though, but surprisingly good. Um, but he had a bad game for his standards. Yeah, it was just tough, man. Caleb, and dude, all the box score. Oh, I'm about to go on a tangent, but nothing pisses me off more in football than box score watchers. You know what I mean? Like, when you look at the box score, Caleb Williams 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He played awful, right? With like or right above 50% completion when it was clearly not the case. He did not play bad. The first interception was basically a punt on 4th down. We should have never gone for that one in the first place. And it's like, I just, oh man, it's so aggravating. Like, because when you watch the game, Caleb played great. Did he have a couple mistakes? Yes, but he played great. And then you have people slandering him for throwing 3 interceptions on Twitter. When then you look at a
That's how Twitter
real
is, man.
dude, you look at a real shitter of the Texans and Patriots over there.
Yeah.
4 interceptions,
Yeah.
CJ Stroud. Now that's a bad game. And honestly, the box score helps him in this case scenario. And that being said, he had a 28 QBR. Yet the box score still made it look better. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, what did you take away from the
I
Bears
do
game?
gotta ask, while we are on the topic of this, how did you feel about Caleb? Okay, like you said, the box score watching. Right after that Bears game, I was seeing a lot of tweets on the timeline about Caleb's stats in the playoffs. I'm sure you've seen them. I'm sure you know them.
Oh
What do
yeah.
you take for everybody kind of just crapping on what he did this playoff run?
Again, like, so for Caleb's standards, was this the best playoff run? No, but again, he showed up when it mattered most. Obviously, through the game losing interception, I really don't care because he showed progress. The only thing I have is he played a lot more aggressive in the playoffs than he did the regular season, which worked and didn't work, right? It helped us beat Green Bay, but we lost to the Rams because of it. Um, but when you break down each of his interceptions, a lot of them were really not his fault. And it's going to sound like I'm just, glazing my quarterback. It's not your fault, I promise, my glorious king, which it isn't, by the way. But but a lot of them is there were miscommunications on routes. There was lack of effort, like on the DJ Moore play. There was the Luther Burden interception where Burden ran the wrong route. It's, a lot of those situations. And it's not been many what I would call actual interceptions, right? Where it's just fully on Caleb making a bad throw, a bad decision. So shit
Yeah.
on him all you want. We'll still be in the playoffs next year. So
Yeah. No, I do gotta ask, since if I'm giving a little exit interview for
yeah.
this Bears fandom. Nah, I got one more question for you. So now that your season is unfortunately over, officially over with, what are the three things? Name me three things you want to see change for the Bears coming into next season.
Okay. I like this. Being on the spot is tough, but
Well, here, let me tell you what your head coach said 3 hours ago about. He was asked about building off this season.
oh, I love this quote.
He said, and I quote, "There is no building off this. We're back to square one. We're back at the bottom again, and that's all 32 teams. If you feel otherwise, you're probably missing the big picture." I mean, it seems like he knows exactly what he is doing starting today.
Johnson, dude.
That is, yeah, I was going to say, like,
him.
that's just something you want to see from your head coach. And he is just really, I mean, honestly, everything that I've been seeing, this guy is just going to do some fantastic things for this team and for that city. I mean, hey, maybe it might be Gary. You see they gave some plans? Did you see that?
Yes. Yeah. I still don't see them leaving Illinois. And again, I really don't think it's a big deal if we do. And that could just be me being someone from Northwest Indiana, but I really don't think it's a big deal. There's so many teams that play outside of their city. But to go back to what you were saying before, if there were three things that I want to see in the offseason and towards next year for the Chicago Bears, number one is go get Max Crosby. He so clearly wants to be a Bear. The players want him to be a Bear. I don't know if you've seen, but Caleb's one of the most active quarterbacks I've ever seen on social media without actually saying anything. He's always reposting and liking stuff. But he was liking stuff about Crosby in a Bears uniform. I mean, Crosby's always talking highly of Caleb and the Bears. It's a match made in heaven, man. Make it happen. I think re-sign Kevin Byard is massive because he was insane for us.
He's a beast, man.
I would love to bring Jaquan Brisker back. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Brisker's going to want more money, rightfully so. I'm not saying he's not worth it, but I also don't think he's a fit for Dennis Allen. I love Brisker, so I wouldn't be mad if we brought him back. He's one of my favorite Bears players because he embodies the spirit of being a Chicago Bear. He plays with so much heart and grit and hates the Packers, right? And then if I had to say a third team or a third thing, it's, again, as much as I love him, you got to ship off DJ Moore. I want to see us bring in another vet, maybe a guy like a Christian Kirk to be that wide receiver 3 on the team. But in my opinion, it's time for Luther Burden to be wide receiver 1. Maybe have him and Rome fight for wide receiver 1, but I think Burden's the better receiver between the two. But either way, that's 2 elite receivers. And, dude, Colston Loveland is going to be the future of our passing game. I think Burden's going to be a great big play guy. He's going to usually be open, but it's going to be Mahomes, Kelsey, Caleb, and Loveland, right? Loveland proved that he is and was worth that, that pick at the time. I just want to point that out there. I like Tyler Warren.
Hey, I'm just staying silent, man. I'm just staying silent.
I like Tyler Warren, but for the Bears, I said it then. I retweeted it a couple of days ago, and I think what I said was perfect, man. Keeping Kmet, I think it was perfect to have Loveland because they complement each other so well. I also think Kmet's gone, man. I think Kmet's another guy that's gone, and we're gonna save about $10 million if he's gone. And I love Cole Kmet, Notre Dame kid. Grew up in the area, always wanted to be a Bear, so I always want to keep guys like that. But I don't think it's smart to afford 2 top tight ends,
Yeah. I mean, that makes perfect sense. There's no need to have both of them after we both clearly saw Loveland kind of turn it up to end the year there. Literally took over.
Do you think
it was...
I'm not trying to keep the whole podcast about the Bears, but...
No, hey, dude, this is... I mean, I feel like, obviously, you were rooting for them. I feel like most of the world was rooting for them because we haven't seen that in so long. And it was honestly just kind of refreshing to see. There was we got used to seeing a lot of the same faces in the playoffs. And this year was like the complete opposite. A lot of different new guys. So it honestly was just, like I said, I was hoping I had you guys going to the championship game. And it was just that close. And like I literally said last week, I said, the winner of this game, I'm pretty sure I said it's not even going to be more than 6 points. It was going to be somewhere under the 6 point mark. And it was 3 points. It was right there. And honestly, it's just like this season, it's just I don't know how to take it for what I see in the future for your guys. Dude, I saw a tweet that was right after it was about the Bears, and it was like the Bears are what did they say? The easiest team to seeing going from the best to the worst in their own division. And
Really?
yeah, and it had like thousands of likes, and I was like, one, I just don't think that will change as long as JJ is in that division. JJ McCarthy, I'm speaking of, Mr. 9. But I just thought that was very, very interesting for somebody to get that perspective after watching the Bears.
Now, I do have to say, will we repeat the division? I don't know. I would love for that to be the case, and I think it's very possible, but I don't know if it'll happen, but I don't see a world we go fourth. But I did want to ask you about the Bears in the playoffs. So I saw somebody tweet this, and I'm biased here, so I wanted to get your opinion. But I saw
Yeah.
somebody say that watching the Bears team felt like magic in every game, and that when the Bears lost to the Rams in the way they did, it took the magic out of the rest of these playoff games. So I wanted your opinion because I'm a Bears fan, so obviously I'm going to agree because obviously my interest level has dipped. I still am excited for the playoffs, but I do agree, and that could just be me as a Bears fan. So what do you think?
Um, I would. I think I would agree. While I do think that I think the Seahawks versus the Rams are going to be a great game. When you look, I mean, it has nothing to do with your Bears since they are in the NFC, obviously. But the AFC, man, it's like with Bo Nix. We didn't even talk about that yet. But Bo Nix, I mean, obviously he is done for these playoffs. I feel like that is just so like Josh Allen, man. He choked his game.
He choked.
And unfortunately, and with Stidham now the starting quarterback, it's just like I don't want to say the Broncos don't have a chance because that defense. But I mean, if Bo Nix was there, that would have been like, okay, it's all right that Josh Allen isn't in this game. But now we have to watch Jarrett Stidham, and I am just in a game to go to the Super Bowl. That sucks. Really, really bad. Injuries suck. But when it does come back to your Bears and being out of the playoffs, I really would agree just because they were extremely fun to watch in this postseason. And honestly, it's like, I mean, you heard it here if you've been listening the past couple weeks. We really both believe the Bears were going to have a very, very deep run. And just after seeing what they did to those Packers and in that game, and then going into the next game versus the Rams, I mean, there was a real, real shot that the Bears could have made a Super Bowl run this year.
Oh, how I wish.
Yeah.
I do have to say about Bo Nix, though, and with Jarrett Stidham, I've seen this movie before, man. I've watched this film. I've heard this song. Backup quarterback. Your starter goes down to a leg injury late in the season. Backup comes in against the number 1 seed Patriots.
Yep.
Where have I heard this one before? Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick, 3 legs. Jarrett Stidham, it is your time, buddy. I mean, if there was ever a game to make a name for yourself, man, ever a time to do it, if you want a shot at ever starting in this league again, you have an elite defense on the other side of the ball.
This is it right
You
now.
go ball the hell out, man.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you ball out in this game in the Super Bowl, you will be starting next year. The Jets will come calling.
Oh my gosh! Wait, what was that guy's name? Can I
Brock
remember it?
Osweiler? Is that who you're talking about?
Oh,
Is
yep.
that was a shot in the dark, and I
Yep,
just
that's exactly who I was. Wow, I'm happy. Yeah, I wouldn't have remembered his name. That's crazy. But no, just speaking of the whole backup
What a
quarterback,
time,
did
dude.
you see? Yeah, no, yeah, seriously. Where do you?
You know, he
Where do
calls
you
college
Texans,
games now.
right? He go to the
Yeah.
Texans?
He went
Gosh, that's
because he was in
crazy.
the Broncos, then went to the Texans.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I saw. I was watching some bowl game a couple weeks ago, and he was calling one of the games. So good for him.
That's
Good for him
awesome.
to
No,
still be
seriously, that
around.
that is very, very, dude. I just saw, what was it? What was I listening to? I can't remember what I was listening to. They just brought up Mitch Trubisky. I just
saw,
like that.
I saw
That
someone
name
saying he
just
might get
brought
a
me
job.
back. Yeah, that's just
I
like,
hope so, man.
dude. I hope so, man. I mean, he's in good spot. Backing up Josh Allen is a very, I feel like,
And he
a
balled
very
out
nice
against the
job
Jets,
to have.
which
So yeah, as long as this, just don't send my boy Mitch to the Jets.
I think that might
No
be where he
Jets.
goes.
Dude. Come on, man. They gotta do better by that.
I love Trubisky. I love every 99. I will say 99% of if you were a Bear at any point in time, I more than likely will root for you for the rest of your career. My name on PlayStation still involves Trubisky, just because I really don't want to change it. But
What
I've
is
always
it?
supported Mitch. It's Trubisky's biscuit. I don't remember if you remember him. We called Mr. Biscuit.
Dude.
So shout out
Wait,
Mitch.
I need to check. So it's Trubisky Biscuit, huh? Because I have somebody. Let me
Dude,
see
it's
if
probably
it is.
me.
Dude, wait, yeah. Let me check, bro. I got my app. I got the app open right here.
But I will support 99% of former Bears. The only exception is if
Trubisky Biscuit. I got you added. Yeah, that is crazy. I was about to say, I know I got somebody on my PlayStation added with Trubisky, and I just needed to see if it was
of course,
Trubisky's Biscuit. That's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
The only instance I won't support a Bear once he leaves Chicago is one, if he goes to Green Bay. Adrian Amos,
I knew you were gonna
go
say
fuck
that.
yourself.
Yep.
And number two, if your name is Velus Jones Jr., did you see the absolute blitz that happened on Twitter to Velus Jones?
No.
So after here, let me pull it up. After the Bears lost,
okay,
he put out a tweet. His first tweet since what? January of 2024, keep in mind.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it was a laughing emoji.
No.
Immediately. 2.6 million views, 4,000 comments, and only 1,000 likes. He got blitzed by Bears fans.
That's well deserved.
But what did we do to Velus Jones? We drafted you higher than you should have been drafted. Gave you multiple chances as you literally fumbled them all. Couldn't return a kick to save your life. Couldn't play receiver to save your life. Now you're over there in New Orleans. Or no, you're in Seattle now playing running back because you suck as a receiver. and you're talking shit about us when we were in the playoffs and you're barely on an NFL roster. We gave you everything. We didn't do a single thing. It's not like we had a falling out. We gave you a chance. You didn't do it. We let you go. And now you're going to shit talk us? I mean, I don't know. Crazy. It just feels like hating from outside the club when you couldn't get in. So, yeah.
Sounds like exactly what it is. Just speaking of these tweets, the man himself, Nick Foles, after he tweeted out, "Note for the Broncos and their fans. I know it has been an emotional 24 hours. I feel for Bo and the team, and I'm sending prayers for a strong recovery. A positive note going into the game versus the Patriots is that they struggle against backup quarterbacks in championship-type games." That tweet is currently sitting at 18 million views, 208,000 likes, and 23,000 retweets. That is just perfect opportunity for the most perfect tweet.
I love Nick Foles. His time as a Bear wasn't the best, but I still, hey, like I said, once a Bear, always a Bear, no matter what happens. I appreciate his time as a Bear. Will always be remembered for his time. And he beat
Brady, man. And he beat Brady, so it's
not just beat Brady. He outplayed Tom Brady.
Yeah,
like that's crazy. And that whole playoff run was nuts from him. But I did want to move on from talking about the Bears and everything. Get to so we obviously talked a little about the Broncos and Bills and Patriots Texans. Seahawks 49ers might have been one of the worst playoff games I've ever seen. And it's because the 49ers just were no match for the Seahawks. It was, dude, it was not even close from the moment that game kicked off. Rashid Shaheed took that kickoff to the back. It was wraps.
That was
It was
awesome. That was
the
awesome.
12 was rocking. The 49ers looked shook. I mean, they couldn't even really get CMC involved.
No.
Only held to 74 total scrimmage yards, only 16 touches. Like, I mean, Kenneth Walker was going crazy. Obviously, tough for Seattle. Zach
Yeah.
Charbonnet tore an ACL, which means, coincidentally, you know who's going to start getting
Wait,
reps?
no way. Yeah,
Velus Jones
great.
Jr. is going to be getting backup reps. Which, by the way, 6 carries, 10 yards, 1.7. But,
Fresh.
hey, fuck the Bears, right?
Yeah.
Um, I will always have beef with Velus Jones for the rest of my
No,
life.
that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that one. That's crazy.
Man, Kenneth Walker's still going to go crazy against the Rams. I do think they. Ooh, let's talk about Seahawks Rams. What do you think happens in the third time? They're 1-1 against each other. In
I feel
Seattle.
like, yeah, I know. I
think
feel like the
Seattle takes
Seahawks should have 2-0'd them if it was, I don't know, personally, I think. But dude, it's just like Matthew Stafford more than likely is going to be the MVP. Okay?
Yes.
So you got that. There's just is Sam Darnold going to do enough? That's just the question that I keep going back on.
Also,
And I don't know, man.
how's that oblique injury going to hold up?
Yeah.
Will he
Yeah,
be
I'm
over it by the weekend?
dude, it's just okay. Well, I mean, I'm personally I'm taking the Rams. I think
Really?
yeah, I just okay, I also have a buddy, okay? I got a buddy that just rides Sam Darnold all the time. All the time. I can't
What
do
an
it.
interesting hill to die on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously. I can't do it anymore. So honestly, that's probably why has a really good reason why I am choosing the Rams, strictly because I just don't. I'm not a man. I said this once and it already hurt me, but I'm saying it again. I'm just not a believer yet in a full believer yet in Sam Darnold until he shows me that he can do it in the playoffs.
Yeah. So I think Seattle wins, but I will be rooting for the Rams to win because I want to
Okay.
see Stafford get another, which is weird because he was always a Lion, but I never looked at the Lions as rivals because of how bad they were.
Yeah, they were
Up
garbage.
until recently, now I look at them as rivals. Fuck Amon-Ra St. Brown, fuck the Lions, but kidding, but not really. But
Dude, his
I love
brother's on
Matthew
your
Stafford.
team, man.
Like, not anymore. I don't think.
Oh,
think
did I
he
didn't even know
missed.
if he got cut.
I don't know
see.
if he's in the league anymore. Actually, I think he's with New
Oh.
Orleans.
Okay, that's
Might as well not be in the league. But
I was about to say if you can't get reps there, you might just want to hang them up.
but I want the Rams to win. I think Seattle wins. I just think that defense, man, is going to give the Rams hell again.
Yeah.
I will say Cooper Kupp is also looks like he's going to be turning it up in the playoffs, which that's when your veteran guys step up the most. And wouldn't it be poetic for him to go off against the Rams? Yeah,
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I again, like we always say with every big time or Seahawks game, it comes down to how Sam Darnold going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know, man. I feel like it's really hard because like we were talking before the show, they're favorited, right? We were saying
they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl. They're like plus 140.
I honestly I just don't understand how the Rams are not favored to win the Super Bowl yet. But I mean,
they're second.
It's just it's very it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a very close game again. But I just really do think that just Sam Darnold he's gonna have to have a game, and I just cannot trust that completely yet.
I don't know if this is like a loser's mentality, but I also want the Rams to win because we lost to the Rams. So I think it would feel better if they won the Super Bowl. You know, to be like,
You
oh,
lost to the
Super Bowl
champs.
right?
No, I get
But,
that's better. No, I get you. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
So I did want to kind of segue this into talking about the national championship game because I was talking about Sam Darnold, right? I believe I said it on last week's podcast of Indiana winning. What would Miami need for them to win is Carson Beck to not lose the game. And what happened? Carson Beck, as usual, lost the game by throwing an interception in a situation he did not need to be forcing that throw. They had plenty of time to try
Not
and
at
march down
all.
the field and win. I mean, not plenty of time, but they had more than enough time to not be forcing the ball, trying to split the coverage to cover two when there's no underneath flat route. I mean, that's also poor play design to attack cover two. Um, why are you but that's the same time, why are you attacking that side if you know there's no flat there? So it's kind of on both the play caller and Carson Beck. You shouldn't be attacking that in that coverage, but hey, he did. Indiana picked him off. Indiana won in a game that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought Indiana was there was an 8.5 point spread going into this game. I thought Indiana was going to cruise that spread, but Miami's defense, man, specifically that D line, dude. I mean, Ruben Bain is just insane. That whole D line as a whole, though, is crazy. There multiple first round picks, multiple guys drafted this year will be happening. They were just outmatched for the Indiana O line, which Indiana's O line has been fantastic the whole year, and they were that outmatched still by that Miami D line, and they kept them in this game the whole time. Mendoza really couldn't get going. Didn't play bad by any means. 16, 27, 186. No touchdowns, no picks. But that touchdown, that rushing touchdown, fourth down, Mendoza putting his body on the line on a QB draw to seal the game. Beautiful, man. That's
That was awesome.
I'm very, very excited as we approach the end of the year, as we approach mock draft season, which we will have, by the way, we will have mock draft episodes. I'm very excited. He's going to be the first player that I've got, my notebooks coming up. I'm getting ready. I'm getting excited that I do my scouting on will be Fernando Mendoza. So I'm excited to see what grade I give him. He's obviously going to be the number one overall pick. But yeah, man, I love this part of the year when it comes to college football as we approach the draft.
Speaking of these prospects and the draft, I do got to ask, as somebody that has never really been a college football guy, where does Mendoza stack up against these other quarterbacks that have been taken in like the last, let's say, 3 years?
Weak. I will say weak. That does not mean Mendoza is a bad quarterback. Don't, twist, you people in the comments do not twist my words. But I still think he's weak compared to the past number one picks. I was
What
having
is
this
he lacking?
conversation. Just I would say just the dynamic. Like he just doesn't do anything crazy, but he's not bad. I think he's gonna be a fine NFL quarterback. I think he might be above average at best, but I don't see him ever being truly an elite guy. And that's why it's confusing for the Raiders to take him. I understand you can't pass up on taking a number one pick with a quarterback,
No.
but the rest of your team's not there, and I don't think Mendoza's a guy that can carry a team like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I'll be rooting for him. We're from Indiana, but I don't think so. And one thing that really just it annoyed me. I don't know if we talked about it before, but seeing this team compared to 2019 LSU, come on, man. Even Mendoza
Yeah.
compared to the 2019 Burrow, it's not even in the same universe of comparison.
That's very funny that you say that. I asked you that question because, like I said, I really don't know that much about. Like, it's just, I don't follow college, so I don't learn a lot about these prospects until come draft time. And I was listening to the Pat McAfee show. They were talking about the 2019 LSU, and they were even saying, like, if you look at those scores, they don't, like, IU this year does not match up to that team even
Not
close.
close.
But I did ask you that question about where he is versus the quarterbacks for like the last 3 years. Because on that show, they kept saying that they believe this guy is generational. They kept throwing that word around.
So
And I didn't I just wanted to see what you thought about that.
So again, this is prior to me actually like I've tuned into a bunch of Indiana games this year. This is prior to
Yeah.
me sitting down, breaking down, the film and doing my scouting. Obviously, I'm not an NFL scout. I'm not, don't take my word as life or death. But I like to do it. It's a fun hobby. So this is prior to actually seeing like game by game film, but I think generational is crazy.
Yeah.
I do think like I said, I think he has a very high floor, which is always good. I think it's a very very high floor. But I don't know about generational, man. I think that's a little crazy. Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
can't see
that's what I
generational.
assumed when they kept saying generational, because like that word really never gets thrown around that much. Last
Also,
time it
Pat's
was for Caleb. What's up? Yeah,
Pat's an IU guy,
yeah,
so
yeah. That's why, because like I said, I didn't know that much about how he stacked up, so that makes a lot more sense because they were all saying it, and I was like, I just didn't know how factual that was.
and then so that's gonna be we're getting towards the end of the episode here. So I did just want to quickly talk about a couple coaches that were hired and fired, right? So just
Yeah.
going to break down a couple that I believe has happened from the last time we recorded the last podcast episode to this one. We've got the Falcons hiring Kevin Stefanski. And as of 10 minutes ago, they also just hired their OC, Tommy Reese, bringing him over from Cleveland as well. The Lions getting Drew Petzig as OC. The Chargers getting Mike McDaniel as OC. The Giants with John Harbaugh. The Titans with Robert Saleh. Today, the Chiefs with Eric Bieniemy as their OC once again. Thank you, Eric. You really helped renovate our run game and turn
Oh
DeAndre
yeah.
Swift into a god this year. So I hope he carries that knowledge. Then the last thing, the Bills firing Sean McDermott, which I thought was crazy, but yeah, there's
Why?
been some good moves happening
Right
with
after
this
that game,
coaching
that was the
cycle,
first tweet that I sent out. I had a feeling that that was McDermott's last game.
and I think that's the wrong decision. I think if you would have fired Sean McDermott last year, I would have 1000% been on board. But after this year, with what was put around him, he did his job. He did more than his job this year. Josh Allen had a bad game, and there just wasn't a lot of talent around him. And he still got them in this position to be in a divisional round game. I don't agree with firing him. And especially when your owner yourself has come out and said in this crazy press
Yeah,
conference from
what? Who
yesterday,
is this guy, man? What? It like
but has
it's
come out
been
and said
crazy.
that it was a bad call. You lost on a bad call, but then you're also saying he got fired because of this game. So he got fired because of a bad call. So now you're contradicting yourself. So this owner, if I'm Josh Allen and I'm watching this press conference, this might be an overreaction. I'm getting the hell out of Buffalo as soon as I can because he clearly is not putting talent around me. He's promoting the GM that isn't putting talent around me,
That was
firing my
crazy.
coach that we were advocating for, and again, the most important thing, not putting talent around me. I'm getting out of there if I'm Josh Allen.
No,
Will he? I
okay.
don't think so.
So I wanna touch back on something that you said. I honestly do believe that I thought it was good timing for them to move on from McDermott. Just because, I mean, I feel like every week I was saying it on this show is that this was the one year you didn't have to worry about Burrow, you didn't have to worry about Lamar, you didn't have to worry about Mahomes. And for them to go out like that, yes, a terrible call. Josh Allen had a bad game. He clearly, I mean, look at his receivers, man. Brandon Cooks. It is January 21st, 2026, and Brandon Cooks is your wide receiver one. He was the wide receiver one that whole game, and I don't get how that happens. But I really do think just a lot of stuff happened at the right time. Obviously, not the right time for McDermott. Just between those three big names not being in it and them losing, I just think something had to change. And I mean, I thought it was going to be Sean McDermott, which it ended up being that. But this owner, man, you don't go and say you don't like. You see him crapping on Keon,
A guy that's still on your team, by the way.
dude.
And also,
I don't understand that.
I don't know if you saw. So he said about drafting Keon Coleman, that was never Brandon Beane's decision. Quote unquote. That was Brandon being a team player. He's taken heat over it. I'm here to tell you the true story. And saying that it was the coaches that pushed for it. right?
That's
Well, I
cap.
don't know if they know this,
Yeah,
but they were on
yeah.
Hard Knocks,
That's
which
what I
means
was just
everything
about to
was
bring
filmed
up.
in this process,
Uh-huh.
which means we have him in 4K
Say the
pushing for
quotes.
Keon Coleman and saying that we really hope Keon's there and hope that we're able to get our guy. If it's not Keon, we don't know who it is.
Well, well,
So
well.
something's not adding up, you know.
I think it was
I,
crazy that he promoted Bean too. Like that is
that's
crazy.
like if McDermott was gonna go, which again I know you agree with, I don't agree with after this season, but I understand him going, but I don't understand him going for the reasoning, right? For the
Yes,
bad
yes,
play,
yes.
the bad call. But if he was gonna go, Bean had to go,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he gets a
it's
promotion.
crazy. Yeah, yeah, exact.
A
That's
promotion?
the
I
crazy part.
mean,
The crazy part is he got not only did he stay, he got a promotion. Like that is just
are we talking
I
about
don't understand
promotions?
it.
Like,
And I do think though, I will say I think this was if you did want to move on, I feel like I mean you can't you obviously you were in the playoffs, you couldn't fire him. Do you think you got this list right here, these head coaches that were hired. Do any of them I mean I don't think Salah would have been in the run for it. Do you think any of them changed their mind over the teams that they signed with to go coach
ooh,
Josh Allen?
you know who I think it's gonna be though? I think it's gonna be Dayball, which I think is the
I
wrong decision.
Dude, see, man, I do like him there. I'm not gonna lie,
I
I do
love
like him.
Dayball as a coach, but I
I
always
think
think
he's
I think when
sorry,
you're an
sorry, I cut you off.
organization, you're
Uh
good.
huh.
I think when you're an organization, when you so I'm a big Manchester United fan, right? And it's being seen a lot over there. We're going through a manager cycle where we're just bringing two
Okay.
people in, kicking them out, bringing them in, kicking them out because it's not a manager problem; it's a board problem. But my point is, we were looking at someone called Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who was our manager a couple of years ago, right? And we need an
Uh huh.
interim manager for this year, and we were going to bring him in, which we didn't, thankfully, because I think once you start looking to the past and bring him in, well, he wasn't good enough back then. How is he good enough now? I think you're going backwards instead of building forwards, and I think that's
Yeah.
never a good sign. Um, I love Dable. I think he's going to be a fantastic head coach, and I wouldn't blame them for doing it because of his progress of developing Josh Allen, but I don't think it's the right decision.
I'm okay. Let me. I think Dayball. I think them bringing him in will be a good move, but I just don't think any of that will matter if they don't put more talent on this roster.
And that's why if I'm Dable, I don't because I don't know if you've seen he is linked to the Titans OC job.
Oh,
I
I didn't
think
even
I
see
go
that one.
take it
Okay.
with Robert Saleh being the head coach. The defense is locked up. Go make your name as an OC again for another year, maybe 2 years, just like Mike McDaniel's doing in Los Angeles with the Chargers now, because that's clearly the play. And then you'll get a fantastic head coaching job when one opens up in 2 years. Because if I'm being honest, I don't like a lot of the head coaching jobs left. So I don't blame them if they go and take these chances. Prove yourself as an elite OC, then you get one of the coveted jobs, right? And you're not kind of clinging at straws. One thing as well about coaches here. One last thing. Eagles OC. What's going on there? Who do
What
you
have
think
they
they're going to
been?
bring in?
Did they bring in Nagy for an interview?
Honestly, I think they need to.
Dude, no,
And
I just can't. I
under
know I
our
read
guy
something about
laughing.
somebody interviewed. So I know I read something for the Eagles. They interviewed somebody.
Mike
Yeah,
Kafka
dude.
that they interviewed
Oh, it
Kafka.
was Nagy today. Today they
Wow.
did it.
I love
Yep.
that so much. Aaron is gonna hate that, and I'm gonna love it. I that immediately after this, I'm sending him a message, and I said I cannot wait for Matt Nagy to be your OC.
The first comment of this says, "I'm so sorry, Eagles." That's the most liked one as well. That's
I mean,
hilarious.
when you look at their options, it's Nagy, it's Kafka, it's Kingsbury. Because Dable's still an option, but I think Dable's already withdrawn himself from it.
Yeah.
So, or they could go get I can't remember his name, the guy the Buccaneers just fired. I saw they interviewed him as well. Or, hey, even though he got relieved of his duties, he's still in the building. Kevin Patullo.
Bring him back.
Could you imagine?
Dude, that would be insane. I feel like they would maybe have to look at like I saw Joe Brady was getting interviews.
I don't think he'll
That could be
leave
something.
being an OC with Josh Allen to go be an OC with Jalen Hurts. You know,
Yeah, I
I
feel that, but at the same time, it's just like yes, you Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts are two completely different skilled quarterbacks when you look at it. It's just you also will have Saquon and
but you also
maybe
have James
AJ
Cook.
Brown. Yeah. No, I trust me. I hear you. It's just when I don't know, man. If I'm just looking for an offense to go coach, I don't know. I feel like pretty easily for me it would be that Eagles one. I feel like they just have a lot more weapons, and
Agreed.
as a coordinator, that is what like that's where you
I
make
think
your
it's the
money.
best job
You got-
available OC wise. So
yeah,
because
yeah,
I mean,
dude.
look at outside of Brian Johnson and Kevin Patullo, who were just bad at their job, right?
yeah,
Look at the last couple coordinators when it comes to the Eagles. They've all gotten head coaching jobs, right? So if you
yeah.
want to be able to take that next step, you go to the Eagles. I think I've said it on this podcast. I'm a Jalen Hurts guy. I think he gets a lot of flack. I don't think he's top 5, but I think he's top 10. I think he is a talented quarterback who is getting rightfully shit on for how he played this year, but it's not his fault. I just think the play calling was so bad, and I think if he gets a good OC, he's good. He was in MVP talks a couple years ago, and people are all of a sudden going to start backtracking on what they were saying about Jalen Hurts. So I hope he does get a good OC there because he's had a different play caller every single year of his career since college.
I mean, what do you take for? We'll just quickly go over. Look at these OC positions that filled. I mean, we already talked about the Chiefs. Mike McDaniel, man, that is going to be I think a fantastic fit in that
I'm
offense.
I'm sorry, Justin Herbert has no more excuses. Uh,
Yeah, no,
Mr.
I
If
agree. This
Man,
is it. This is it. This is
Mr.
it.
Excuse Man, you're done. I'm still not putting stock into you this year until we hit the playoffs. So I don't care if you play like an MVP. I won't buy it until we get to the playoffs. You have no more excuses, buddy. You got Mike McDaniel, the most coveted OC job, most coveted OC candidate there was this cycle. You have
Yeah.
him. You have no excuse.
Hey, man, when we start up this dynasty league, man, I need Amari and Hampton on my team. That's all I know.
I don't blame you. I'm
I
excited to
need
start that.
I need some of that. That's gonna be. Hey, what about these Lions, man? What did you take when you saw that signing?
I saw Amonra defending it. Saying, you think Dan doesn't know what he's doing? What happened to the last OC Dan just brought in that wasn't named Ben Johnson? I don't think Dan knows a lot what he's doing when it comes to hiring OCs. I think he got lucky with Ben Johnson being there. But he might prove me wrong. I don't think Petzing's a good coordinator. At times he had that offense looking okay in Arizona, but they should have been looking better than what they did.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's going to be good enough with them. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't think I will be though. I think he'll be maybe one and done, maybe two and done. But I don't see him lasting long as the OC there. Yeah. Hey, I did want to say, Harry, what code did they have to use?
Oh, that is code TGN 10% off all items.
Poggers is the hydration and energy drink mix made for gamers, creators, and anyone who plays life at full speed. Zero sugar, all flavor, no crash. Like Harry said, use our code 10% off all items. All items, use that code at checkout, TGN. As well, make sure you guys do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are 11 subscribers away from 50, our goal. We were trying to get there before the Super Bowl. We're cutting it close. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, comment down below. And as always, NFL hot takes right after the conference title games. We're approaching Super Bowl season. Give us those hot takes in the comments. YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you're watching this video, leave those hot takes down below. We'll roast you or maybe agree with you on next week's episode. Harry, was there anything else you wanted to add today?
Um, Yeah, so Poggers is a hydration plus energy drink mix made for gamers, creators, and anyone who plays life at full speed. Zero sugar, all flavor, no crash. And just in case you missed it the other 2 times, code TGN for 10% off of all items. That's it.
All right, guys. We will see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in.